Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Simply Crystal. In today's video, I am getting down to business. In my last video, I promised you all that I would be reading reviews from Fashion Nova, and this is the video. Before we get to the reviews, we're going to take a little bit of a detour because while I was prepping my notes and getting everything together, I came across something huge, and I really don't know why this hasn't been discussed. For those of you that are here for the Enailcouture update, I will be updating you on Enailcouture as well as reading reviews from Fashion Nova. Everything ties together. You will see what I'm talking about. If you all want to see what I'm talking about, then stick around and keep watching the rest of this video. So yesterday, and I just can't even contain myself because I feel like this video is going to help a lot of people and it's going to let people know their rights. In my last video, I had people approaching me asking me, why did I do that video? I want to be very clear that I do not make these videos with big brands in mind. My loyalty lies to my subscribers, and there are ways to deal with customers when you are having a problem. See, the thing about it is that people understand, people are very forgiving, and there are things that you can do that will build loyalty with your customers and not push them away. But ignoring them and not giving them options, that's just a no-no. I've run a business for a long time. I've been in customer service, and unfortunately, there's a lot of things that I saw with Enailcouture that I did not like. And the same thing goes for Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova, as we know, has been, to say the least, a headache for a lot of people. It is a popular fashion brand that is all over the internet. I mean, they've done collabs with people like Cardi B, reality TV people, some of the biggest YouTubers, but they have been problematic on several different levels. So I was on the Better Business Bureau, easily becoming one of my favorite websites. And before I could even get to the reviews, I was met with this huge legal bit of information that was plastered at the beginning of the reviews on Better Business Bureau. And if you don't know what I'm talking about a lawsuit, a settlement, FTC. I'm just going to go to the write-up and let you all just hear it for yourself because this is absolutely crazy. The following describes a government action that has been resolved by either a settlement or a decision by a court or administrative agency. If the matter is being appealed, it will be noted below. 4/21/2020, the following describes a settlement that has been formally brought by a government agency. The Federal Trade Commission alleges and charges as follow. Online fashion retailer Fashion Nova will pay $9.3 million to settle Federal Trade Commission charges that it didn't properly notify consumers and give them a chance to cancel their orders when it failed to ship merchandise in a timely manner, and that it illegally used gift cards to compensate consumers for unshipped merchandise instead of providing refunds. Under the terms of Fashion Nova's proposed settlement with the FTC, the money will be used to refund consumers who were harmed by the company's violations. So what does that mean? The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, filed a suit against Fashion Nova. And on 4/21, Fashion Nova settled with the FTC for $9.3 million for failing to notify consumers and give them a chance to cancel their order when their ship dates would not be met. And it also alleges that Fashion Nova illegally issued gift cards to compensate consumers for unshipped merchandise instead of providing refunds. For example, if they don't have something in their warehouse, instead of providing a refund, they say, no, we're giving you a gift card. We've heard this before from millions of people. We've heard this from thousands of reviews. The FTC complaints against Fashion Nova alleges that it violated the agency mail, internet, or telephone order merchandise rule, the mail order rule, which applies to merchandise sold to online consumers by mail or by telephone. Quote, the same rules that we have enforced for nearly 50 years against catalogers and mail order companies also apply to online sellers, said Andrew Smith, director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection. Online retailers need to know that our mail order rule requires them to notify customers in the event of shipping delays and offer the right to cancel with a full refund, not just a gift card or a store credit. Meaning that if you have told your consumers that you are going to ship within 8 to 16 business days and 8 to 6 business days have passed, you must legally allow them the right to cancel. You guys following me? According to the complaint, Fashion Nova violated the rule in 2 ways. Now, before we even get to that, let me just explain to you all what the mail order rule is. The rule issued in 1975 requires sellers who solicit buyers to order merchandise through the mail, via the internet, or by phone to have a reasonable basis to expect that the sellers can ship within the advertised time frame, or if there is no time frame specified, within 30 days. Not 30 business days, 30 days, 1 month. The rule also requires a seller to seek the buyer's consent to the delayed shipment when the seller learns that it cannot ship within the same time, or if the time is stated within 30 days. If the buyer does not consent, the seller must promptly refund all monies paid for the unshipped merchandise. So if someone tells you that we're going to ship your order within this amount of days, it has to be shipped within those amount of days. If it does not reach you, then you can contact them and ask for a refund, and they must give it to you. Or they must reach out to you and say, hey, we're running behind. Do you still want to keep this order? So according to the complaint, Fashion Nova violated the rule in 2 ways. First, the company made clear promises to consumers for years that they offer fast shipping of their products. This includes using phrases like fast shipping, 2-day shipping, and expect your items quick. In fact, the company regularly failed to meet its shipping promises to consumers and failed to meet the mail order rules requirement that consumers be notified of shipping delays and given the chance to cancel orders and receive prompt refunds. The complaint also alleges that Fashion Nova at times failed to refund consumers for the items that it did not ship. Instead, it was the company's policy to issue gift cards, which are not considered refunds under the mail order rule. The company also failed to cancel orders and provide refunds when it did not offer consumers delay option notices. Under the terms of the proposed settlement, Fashion Nova will be required to pay $9.3 million to be used to refund consumers who were harmed by the company's violation of the mail order rule. Of that, $7.4 million will be sent to the FTC for the use and refunding customers, and $2.6 must be refunded directly by the company to consumers. Consumers who have received gift cards instead of refunds when the company violated mail order rules will be eligible for refunds under the settlement. The settlement also prohibits Fashion Nova from any further violations of the mail order rules and requires the company to ship ordered merchandise within 1 day of the receipt of an order when the company doesn't specify a ship date. So meaning, if they don't say your items will arrive to you in 5 to 6 days, or we will process your order in 3 days, then they must process it within a day to ship it. Okay, so the commission vote authorizing the staff to file the complaint and proposed stipulated order was 5-0, meaning everyone agreed. The FTC filed the complaint and final judgment in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. Note, the commission files a complaint when it has reason to believe that the named defendants are violating or are about to violate the law, and it appears to the commission that the proceedings is in the public interest. Stipulated orders have the force of law when approved and signed by the district court judge. The Federal Trade Commission works to promote competition and protect and educate consumers. You can learn more about consumer topics and file a consumer complaint online by calling 1-877-FTC-HELP. That's 382-4357. Like the FTC on Facebook. Follow them on Twitter, read about their blogs, and subscribe to press releases for the latest FTC rules. And then it goes on and it gives you information to this settlement, with Fashion Nova to access the full Trade Commission press release, has their social medias. But guys, how come nobody's talking about this? How come nobody's brought this up? I'm noticing that a lot of companies are doing the same thing, and it's really getting out of hand because of the pandemic. Price gouging, saying they're going to ship something within a certain amount of time because people have no other choice but to order online. But I feel like a lot of these online retailers are taking advantage of people. And let me tell you something, I was taken advantage of a lot during the pandemic, and it frustrated me to no end. I'm just not here for the excuses, because the fact of the matter is that a lot of these companies are breaking records with sales during this pandemic. And while they're breaking records and people are like going out and spending this money, they're not returning the same thing to us. At the end of the day, like I said, I understand that you're getting a lot of orders, but communicate that to people. There are rules that you set forth to your customers that you should be following yourself. So with that being said, I want to see if Fashion Nova has learned their lesson or if they're still doing the same thing. So no stars is what these crooks deserve. Their clothes are cheaply made, arrive damaged, and made odd. They don't want to give you your money back, only store credit. I just kept the mess. I'd rather not deal with the hassle. Shipping is horrible. I paid for next day delivery, and they only created a shipping label and never shipped it out for the next day delivery. If I had not called their crooked butts, they would have kept that shipping cost. They never informed me that it was a delay also. I purchased one more item in which they sent out an estimated shipping date after they processed and created a shipping label, and the item haven't been picked up by UPS, and I've called them several times asking them to ship the items out because I was moving from the address it's been shipped to, and they still have not shipped this item out. Do not do business with these people unless you want to spend a lot of money for cheaply made clothes, poor shipping, and bad blank. Wow. Fashion Nova still hasn't learned their lesson. This girl is extremely smart and she knows what she's talking about, because a lot of companies, what they'll do is they'll print out the shipping label right away and then they'll take their time to ship. I already know the deal. And I know what Fashion Nova is doing. Like, that's so shady. Like, you've just been hit with a lawsuit from the FTC for doing this thing, and you guys are still going around and doing shady things. Well, I'm glad Stacey got her one-day shipping money back. So Kenya A says, I paid for 7 items and received 3. Fashion Nova has no real blank department, and I'm guessing customer service department. It's basically theft. They won't refund my money or send items or issue a store credit. Wow. Christine M says, I feel almost scammed. I ordered 17 items. When my package was received, the packing slip and delivery email read as if all of my contents were inside, that my order was complete. As I reviewed my order, I was missing 8 items. So I emailed twice and no response. Finally, I called to only find out that my money was taken for items they no longer have in stock. I was not notified and my package was delivered as if everything was fulfilled. This is very unprofessional. If I didn't call, they would have just taken my money, and that's not how a business should operate. I can't ignore. Also, some items look nothing like they were presented on their website. So Kelly O says, clothes are poor quality and odd fit. You have to pay for shipping, which is fine, but you also pay for return shipping, which is kind of crappy for a reputable online clothing store. Like others here, I was only reimbursed for half of what I paid in store credit, and nowhere on their site did they mention this detail. After paying for shipping both ways and only getting half of what the garment costs, I'm out more than I paid for a simple piece of clothing. Don't fall for their viral Instagram marketing. I would not shop here. Go to much more legit stores and steer clear. Come to this site. Wow. I'm going to read this last review. It's from Tori T, 6/19/2020. Paid $15 extra for overnight shipping and did not receive my items in time for my trip. Horrible blank. I want a refund. Unreliable, these people. Wow. And like, I'm literally just sifting through the rest of these, and it's just like poor products. They stole $200. I spent $100. My order was not fully fulfilled. wow. I mean, it's just one star after one star after one star after one star. So circling back to Enailcouture, I wanted to give you all an update on some information that I have found, and I want to tie all of this back into the whole Fashion Nova drama. I'm still on Enailcouture's mailing list, and as of 2 or 3 days ago, I noticed that they have a new way to pay, and originally they had Afterpay. Now it's changed to Sizzle. Whether or not we fully know the truth, we know that they don't have Afterpay anymore. Doesn't make sense to me. Why are we switching to another pay later platform when you are at the height of your sales? I don't know. I also saw in the comment section that they were having trouble with PayPal. And I know from my experience with having a PayPal business account that PayPal will either go in and shut your account down without any warning if you get too many chargebacks, and that for every single chargeback that you have, they will charge $25, at which can put a company in the hold. Or if they find that your transactions are a little flaky, that you get a lot of chargebacks, what they'll do is they will place all of your money on hold, and they will make you wait like up to 180 days before you get that money back, just so that they can have enough money to refund people when they are requesting their money back. It's really strange to me that he doesn't have a legal team directing him down the right road on the right and wrong way to run a business. You want to make sure that before you add any new stipulations or rules, that your legal team looks over it so they can advise you on whether or not you should do that. And in this case, this seems like a typical case that maybe he didn't consult with his legal team and he just added something because he didn't want to lose that money. Like, not canceling an order because you don't want to go bankrupt is an excuse, because it's really not an excuse. If people are requesting their money, someone that's been waiting for 30, 40 days, then you have a legal right to refund them their money. And whether you're going to go bankrupt or not, if you're unable to fulfill the orders in the time frame that you had given, then that's not on the consumer to deal with that problem. Originally, they were given 8 to 18 business days, but then the website changed to 30 plus business days, which 30 plus can mean anything. And I know a lot of people were saying that when they reached out to Enailcouture, they received a generic email. And on one day they said, we've gotten past orders 110, 111. Now we're working on 113. And then a week later, they would say, we've gotten past 108, 109, and 110. We're now working on 111. And it's just like the emails were conflicting. And there's a lot of things that are not adding up, and whatever's done in the dark will come out. So if you find that you cannot fulfill orders within the time frame that you had given to the consumers, then you shouldn't continue processing orders. Lime Crime kind of went through the same thing, and they literally had to stop orders for a while and then catch up. It ended up making them better than ever. Red Iguana did something like that, where she had gotten so many orders and that she kind of had to stop making custom silicone hands for a while until she was able to catch up. And the people that want those products, they're going to still be there. They're going to come back. They're going to order it if they really want it. Like, you're not going to lose out on anything. But being greedy and just grabbing everything when you know for a fact that you cannot fulfill all those orders, that's just negligence. You will probably look back on it and say, I wish I had not taken so many orders that I could not handle, because I still ended up giving the money back. And during that time of taking all those orders, I stressed myself out so much. I put such a bad mark on my brand that I might not even be able to come back from this. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to press that thumbs up button. If you are watching this video and you're not subscribed, take a moment to press that subscribe button. And if you want to connect with me on other platforms, here are all of my socials. I love to connect. I thank you all again for joining me. I wish you all nothing but peace, love, fashion, beauty, wine. Bye-bye.